Now that is what I call a truly spectacular South African welcome for Volkswagen's all-new Volksbus Yabantu. Let's give our artists a massive round of applause. That is not stuff you practice at home. Now I know you guys are sitting back there thinking, shame, Mario Scott put in the cheap seats and you guys have the best view in the house. Let me tell you, inside this bus where you'll be seated a little bit later, this is not a bad place to find yourself. But you know what is cool? All of us have a bus story. Buses are such a massive part of how South Africans commute, live, get to work and school every single day. And it brings back so many amazing memories for me growing up in Port Elizabeth. That was how I got to school every single day, was by bus. Admittedly, not in a bus that is this comfortable or looks this cool. But the bus doors are going to remain open. So at the end of our presentation, once we've spoken through all of the crucial elements that make this bus so special, we obviously will invite you to get into the seats and experience what makes the brand new Volksbus Yabantu something so really special. But it gives me great pleasure to welcome to stage a man we know very well. I've got to spend quite a bit of time with him. Oliver Klein, obviously the managing director for MAN Automotive here in South Africa. Oliver, you've got a smile on your face, and it seems like every time I see you, there's something we're celebrating, because it was a year ago that you launched MAN's new truck generation. That was truck stealing the limelight. Now it's a bus that is the star of the show. But this is a very, very important product for MAN.
Yeah, it certainly is. And Marius, nice meeting you again.
Yeah.
You know that this month we are celebrating 60 years of business in South Africa. We started November 62, and since the early 70s already, we are in strong partnership with Volkswagen. And today, it's time to open the next chapter. We are really proud to present you the new Volksbus. Designed in Germany, engineered and built here in South Africa. So it's tailor-made for you, our valued customers. It's our pride that we are the only South African OEM with our own bus body production facility here in Motherfontein. That means we are able to deliver a good, high-quality product out of one hand. That means one-stop shopping for the customers.
But you speak about this relationship about MAN, Volkswagen, but also you have incredible relationships over the years with the people that are here, the customers.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just relationships, it's friendships.
It's all nice to have a great history, good products, and a strong team. But that's all nothing. Nothing without you. You, our valued customers. Over the last decades, we created great partnerships and good friendships. That's how we make business at MAN. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the evening. I hope we have a lot of good discussions, some drinks together, and the most important part, let's have a bit of fun. Thank you very much. Enjoy the evening.
Thank you very much. Give Oliver a big round of applause. So guys, look, I come from a motoring background, so that is kind of what I do. And I never ever think of styling and bus together. That just kind of doesn't go. And that was my first impressions until we got to film this, as you saw in that opening video, driving through town. And let me tell you, it was the first time, obviously, people got to see it, and the reactions. It is an absolute head turner. And our crazy aerial artists, when we sent them the clip to choreograph their opening routine, they were going, wow, I never thought we'd say a bus looks sexy. Now, as a guy, I don't really feel that comfortable saying the bus is sexy, so I'm going to go with sharp. I think that's pretty cool. And it is really something quite spectacular that VW have put together from a design perspective. So let's have a good look at the all-new Volksbus Yabantu. Did we not? I'm a little bit worried. Sia, I think the welcome drinks weren't strong enough. I know I was going with things like sexy, sharp, sophisticated, stylish. You the bus guy. How do you define it?
I think it's all of the above. But you also want to say this bus was lekker. It's more everything, you know. You include styling in the bus. You spoke very well about how stylish the bus is. But we thought, firstly, let's give it a South African name. And I think for us, this was very important. We've moved on from the old generation into the new generation. So if we were to do that, we needed to make sure that it's authentic. You know, like my MD says, the bus is styled in Germany. The chassis comes from our colleagues in Brazil, but it's handmade here, locally, by the people, for the people. That's why the name, Volksbus Yabantu.
But he's still, I love it, it's right. Sia's still trying to help me just say it right, because apparently like it sounds the same, but I'm saying it Yabantu. Is that wrong?
Yabantu. Volksbus
Yabantu.
For the people.
But Sia, what is cool is that design point. From Wolfsburg, the design, we know what the VW product looks like on our cars, but it really feels like they've pulled that through from a styling perspective in terms of what you see in this bus.
Look, it's a Volkswagen. It epitomizes what VW passenger car looks like. And if you look at the styling of the bus, that comes across very well. You see the passion of the passenger car people in a commercial vehicle. This for us was very, very important.
But that going back to Yabantu, I mean, Oliver touched on it, you know, built here, Olifantsfontein, but that is an incredible story and a wonderful facility to go to. Olifantsfontein is something really special.
Marius, Olifantsfontein is the jewel in our crown, without a shadow of doubt. Look, we're the only OEM that can boast this facility. We're the only OEM that makes sure that we are a one-stop shop. I think Mark Hoos and his team have done an absolute phenomenal job in all the buses that we get out, especially this bus. This is a head turner, Marius.
And obviously having a production facility also helps you, and we're going to get to that later, Giacomo, but it gives you guys that unique advantage because you are that one-stop shop. Yeah. You're building something that isn't European spec, it is made for South Africa, and your unique needs as customers are being looked after. That's a unique selling point for MAN with this Volkswagen product. It's
a big feature. I mean, customers know us really well when they come to buy the product, but they also interact a lot with our colleagues at the bus plant. Yeah. And this for us, like I said, it makes it unique. And it completes the sales process for MAN Automotive. This is something that, you know, we could never have asked for anything better. And we always want to be seen as a solution-driven company. One-stop shopping, that's all we need to do.
Let's get into a bit more detail from a styling perspective. And I thought the best place to start, we spoke about head turner and nothing better than the bold face. There is so much VW road passenger vehicles that have been pulled through onto this bus. Talk us through some of your favorite features.
Look, one of my favorites is the honeycomb grille. I think a lot of guys here that have VW cars and sports cars, they'll agree. This is it pulls you in because you want to look at the face of the bus. You want to make sure when that bus comes through, I mean, the stylish of a face is there. The chrome finish, it just gives it that sexiness. You know, you just want to make sure that you're glued onto this magnificent machine. You know?
It's the chrome detailing for me that I always find, if it's done properly, not overkill, just a few details like around the headlights, the strip across the grille, that's a sophistication element that gets pulled through. Now, you could have gone with LEDs, but I see you guys have gone with halogen. I'm assuming it's purely from a pricing perspective.
Marius, you know, I mean, we've come off a very difficult 2 years. The whole world is in turmoil. I mean, we're lucky we don't have a war on our doorstep, but I mean, our colleagues in Europe have been suffering. So anything and everything is going up in the world. So we thought, you know what, let's tweak a couple of, let's call them fancy and nice to haves and make it practical, but also just make it nice and easy to sell and not go overboard.
You know what I love? I hope you've noticed the destination board up top there. Yeah? Cool. I love that you can configure what? Literally, you can put any message in there. Marius is fantastic. I mean, you could fit that in there?
I think it's too long. But look, I mean, it gives the customer, it gives us a feel that when you need to put your destination or your story, whatever it is that you feel, you've got options. And we want to give the customer those options. We don't want to limit what is happening. That's why the digital board.
I want to talk about the side of the bus, because this is something that was a bit, I guess as somebody who's not in the trade, I kind of looked at it, I went, I only see like these type of buses running in the city centers, like in PE, we've got all of your MAN buses. Yeah, but I look at it, I'm going, why do you need storage? You know, if it's a bus that's kind of doing short commutes. but this is obviously there because you know your customers want it.
No, Marius, look, it's not for you to sleep in, it's not for you to store yourself in there, but customers know their customers better. And when you've got luggage, you gotta store it somewhere. You don't wanna hang luggage in the bus and it's moving around. So the ample space that we've got in this bus to store your luggage, the luggage lockers, ample space.
I suppose it also makes the bus more versatile because you can use it for a longer commute or the run around in town, which is great.
In a city, you're cruising, or you want to make sure that you've got your longer distances, and you want to cater for everybody that's in your market.
And you can load through.
Very
nice. I want to wrap up with the rear look on this vehicle, because you must have been so flippin' tempted to kind of go and say, we see what VW do, there's the badge, and then it says Polo or Tiguan or whatever. I thought you could have gone with Yabantu on the bottom there, but there's a reason for it.
Yeah, look, this is a partnership. Yeah. We don't want to spoil it. We know the customers would love to put their brand on our bus. Let's make sure our brand is visible, but the customer brands their bus to their liking as well. And the last thing, the VW sign at the back. If you're traveling on traffic,
oh no, it's above them.
You want to make sure that VW stands out. You want to make sure people are visible.
I remember when we were driving back, I mean, that past Santon and there, that thing is just obviously so proudly displayed. And it is a brand with a lot of heritage, proud. And you spoke about our consumers really do bond and connect very well with the people's manufacturer here as well in South Africa. Mm-hmm. I want to ask you a final question before we move on, because we're speaking about styling, but obviously, you're looking at this from a holistic perspective. What do you think is the biggest unique selling point for you on this bus? Is it the styling, or is it some of the other features that we might be getting into later?
Look, not to take away a lot from the technical aspects, but for me, it's the Euro 5 without AdBlue. This, for me, is the biggest selling point. I mean, if you take into consideration that the world is moving greener, you take into consideration that the world is moving, let's say, to a more efficient running vehicle. This for us is the very special thing.
But I mean, I think, forget your business, I just think we've all felt the pinch in our personal cars going to the filling stations. So if you can provide me a product that obviously is going to help, I guess, from a tender perspective as well, you might be needing to tick some green credentials, you've got that. But I think the efficiency that you now get, at the end of the day, geez, the diesel's gone through the roof. So you're really helping them make their business more profitable at the end of the day as well, without that swear word, apparently. Because I heard that with the trucks as well. AdBlue, what is this nonsense? So that's key.
Look, it's going green, it's going greener, it's going more efficient, but you're ticking the tender spec, but also you're making sure that you don't get that nuisance. Yeah. Euro 5 from Euro 3 is an upgrade. And now you're going green without AdBlue. This, for me, is phenomenal.
Awesome. Let's give Sia a round of applause. We're going to see him a little bit later. Sure. Thanks, Sia. Now, we spoke earlier about the important benefits having local production, obviously in terms of boosting the economy, in giving people jobs. This is obviously amazing. But for you as customers out there, it gives you a level of optimization, because if it's built locally, we can specify things to your unique needs. Who better to talk through all of this than Giacomo? I mean, I need you to do your best walk. He looks stunning in makeup. Please give Giacomo a big round of applause. I've never seen him looking so special.
How was that?
You look lovely.
Stay over there.
I'm going to stay over here. You know, I could see when Sia and I were sitting and talking about the styling and the beautiful front end, I don't know if you saw in that opening video, he was driving, and he's going to claim the only reason that front end looked beautiful was because you were behind the wheel.
Look, for such a beautiful bus, we looked through the whole OMA organization to look for a suitable driver to put in a bus like this. So we found him, but that day he was sick, so I had to do it.
I want to talk about your cool configurator, because you gave me access to it. So at MN, we're speaking about customization. You've got a really powerful tool that you can now go and take when your sales team sit with the customer to say, hey, let's get the bus that works for you. What does that configurator allow you to do?
Look, each customer has their specific needs. Everybody's got a different bus that they want to spec, and having the factory, the facilities that we've got, we're able to give this to the market, which is what sets us apart from other manufacturers. So, you know, the salesman has this tool. He sits with the customer. Nobody knows their business better than the customer. So together, we spec a bus that's fit for purpose and helps with efficiencies and contributes to the growth of their business and ultimately our business as well.
Yeah, I think it's just easier to manage that whole process. But when I was fiddling through the drop-down screens, I went onto your chassis. It was really cool because it really gives you the full lineup of what you guys do offer. But it was also nice to see that there's not just one Volksbus Yabantu now, there are actually two.
Correct. So if you go in, you'll see the range of chassis we got is by far the biggest range that any OEM offers in South Africa. And now we've taken one VW from the 17 to 10, and we've made two models out of it. So we've got the 17 to 30, manual, 240 horsepower, or we got the 17 to 60, automated shift, 260 horsepower. So now we've given a little bit of a fruit salad to what the customers can use and choose.
But I also noticed, and it's quite cool, if we actually can have a look at this bus over here, because you're also offering two different, can we call them ride heights?
That's correct,
so you've got
yeah.
urban and you've got commuter. So if we get our camera onto this, you'll have a look. The big difference really is what approach and departure.
So our approach and departure angles are different. So when we set out designing this bus with Philip back in 2017, 15 even, the bus was in an embryonic phase, let's call it that. We got Germany involved, and this is the first bus that Germany, VW AG, have designed in the world. So what you're seeing here is exclusive. You're never going to see it anywhere else. So we went for the sleek VW look, and as you can see, it's low, slung, I'll say sexy. I'm not afraid, Marius,
Okay,
I'm not afraid.
You're a bigger man than I am.
Yeah. But the practicalities of the industry is that maybe it doesn't work. The approach angle, departure angles are too low. We run our buses in some adverse conditions. So we're offering two alternatives. One is what you see here, which is a bit lower. And on that side, in our 17 to 30, it's the commuter spec, which has a higher back and a higher front, just to give you that clearance in your operations.
The same thing applies obviously with windows. Like I love the sleek setup that we've got displayed on both of these. But obviously the buses that I normally see on the road don't have these type of windows. So is this all that it comes with, or are there other options?
No, we've got other options. So there's the rubber glazed windows, which are gasket fitted, and we got these that are rubber bonded windows. Once again, it's up to the customer to choose. Certain customers prefer the one over the other for whatever reason, efficiencies, time, but it all goes down to giving them the best fit for their business and the best return on an investment like this.
Having a look at what the old bus looked like, I think a really massive change for me is what the driver experiences, because what you guys have done from a cockpit perspective, lots of changes there.
Correct. And that's the big thing with these buses. As much as the 17 to 10 has a legacy in the market, these buses are a huge step ahead. So they are a departure from what that is. So when it comes to driver ergonomics and dynamics, there's an air suspended seat, 3-point retractable lap belt. We've got an onboard computer. We've got a lot of extras that we never could offer then. But it's all to do with giving the driver a comfortable place to operate his business in your business.
What's quite cool though, because I mean the one that we were filming obviously didn't have the driver enclosed area, but when you guys get onto the bus later, we've got in our video coming up now as well, you'll see that that is also an option.
So we learned our lessons in COVID, and you'll see a completely revolutionary design of the driver's enclosure, and it offers a more airy, more user-friendly type of an environment for both the passenger and the customer. On top of that, we've gone with a really slimline fuse box. So if you're used to our old fuse boxes, take a look at what we've done and the thought process behind it and how it opens up the bus.
Can we touch on colors? Because, geez, like the silver with the black skirts in our launch video really looked wow. Obviously, we've gone all white venue. We showcase the white, but this is what people buy white because it makes sense from a branding perspective. But there are colors available.
Correct. So a lot of the guys here have got fleets. They've got their own brands. They've got their own branding. We have the facilities, spray booths. We've got design centers. We can sit with the customers and design their logos. We can put their livery on the buses. We do it. We do it for most of our customers. So we have that ability to tailor-make a solution.
Takes us right back to that fantastic crown jewel, Olifantsfontein, being
100%.
able to mix, match, tweak, listen to what they need, and have a solution for it straight away.
100%.
Let's give Giacomo a big round of applause. Giacomo, thank you very
Thanks
much
a lot,
for your
Mario.
time. You did a
Thanks.
good job. Now, if you guys recall, right at the beginning of this presentation, I was seated inside the bus. That's where I started the journey, because like I alluded to then, this is such a crucial part of so many, millions of South Africans' daily lives. It's how they get to work, it's how they get to school. And I think what's important is that you also provide them with that feeling that they are traveling in comfort, in safety, in something really special. Let's take a look.
For us, it's very important that we get the commuters from their homes to their schools, from their homes to the business. I mean, South Africa is a bustling country. It's a very, very dynamic and unique setup that we have, and our commuters and our scholars are very important within the South African market. And we ensure that they get to their destination safely and they get there on time, but also that they continue to provide the service that we need for the economy to progress. I think VW have outdone themselves with this bus. It turns heads as soon as it moves through the community. I've got no doubt. One, the interior is more comfortable, more up-spec than the previous bus, but the styling of the bus is what's going to set it apart of the rest. From the lessons we've learned from the old buses, we wanted to come with a new generation and a new feel for the interior so that the commuters, when they travel from wherever they come from at home and they travel to work, it must be in comfort, it must be in style. This was very important. So what we did is we made sure that we made the cloth seat, which is very durable and very, very sturdy, but also very comfortable. We want to make sure that the customer's got a choice. Whether he wants to go vinyl or he wants to go cloth seats, we want to make sure that we can provide the choice at the exact same price. What's nice about this bus is that it's unique in the world. Styled in Germany with a Brazilian chassis, but built in South Africa. That for us is key. This bus is a unique project that we all embarked on, and making sure that we deliver the service to our community, but for a bus built by the community. This, I think, is fantastic for us.
We certainly had so much fun putting that little video together. Listen, we've literally covered every inch of Volksbus Yabantu, but the one thing we haven't discussed is pricing. And I think it's something we've obviously got to sit and talk about. And I know it's a difficult thing because I look at it and I think, my word, who is in charge of doing price forecasting for you? Because I wouldn't want that job at the moment. The things that have gone on, if it's not COVID, it's flipping wars. But how do you predict what is happening in the market? How do you even price something like this?
Marius, the difficulty in this world that we live in is that there has been a jump in pricing. I mean, this is evident with the fuel pricing. This is evident with the price of steel. We've got our colleagues from purchasing, Claudio, he's a stickler for pricing, and he will tell you, and he's around the room if everybody engages with him, but 400% on certain items that we've moved on. So that big jump has necessitated that we follow suit. I mean, we can't, if we want to keep our doors open, and if we want to make sure that this lovely bus, which obviously we've made a huge investment in, there's a lot of money that's gone into producing something like this. But at the same time, we got to adjust to the situation of the world. And therefore, we are no better.
But I think what's also cool, and we've kind of tried to go through these unique selling things that make this a big jump forward. I'm not even talking about the automated. I'm talking about the jump from the 210 to the 230 in terms of horsepower alone, and the fact that you've now gone with from Euro 3 to Euro 5. I mean, that alone, it's chalk and cheese. You can't compare old with new.
No, 100%. And when you get the opportunity to look at what we've done, you'll see that it's a completely new bus. New chassis, new body, new everything. So it is a new bus, and we're excited to launch it into the market. It's competitively priced. I mean, you're looking, depending on the spec, you know, you all got your different specs. We've got the 230, the 260. You're looking at around a 2.2 million rand mark. But let's talk. We want to make this bus a success. We need you to make it a success in order for us to keep our factory going, to keep growing and going strong. So let's engage the salesmen here. They're well versed in what we can offer and how we can deliver it to you. And let's do some business, sign some OTPs maybe, and roll out the deliveries.
Yeah, I think the other thing that we do well, I mean, like we said, we're a one-stop shop, Giacomo. Yeah. From R&M rates right down to our colleagues at MAN Financial Services. I mean, the customer services management colleagues are well versed in making sure that they tailor their packages. We've got the colleagues at MAN Financial Services. They'll do the same. I mean, like Giacomo says, you're looking at anywhere about 2.2, 2.3 million, but we'll tailor make it. We'll make the sales happen.
Look, and we've got, a lot of you will name, we've got Imal, our top used. Very, very exclusive offering in the market. So from start till end, we got you covered.
But you know what I'm also thinking is probably quite significant too, is that we don't want to keep harping on about the last 2 years, but you know, I think all of us have started seeing our businesses bouncing back. And you know, for you guys, you obviously want to get back to producing the numbers that you were, and Mark and his team have, they've been rolling out and building and getting volume going. So in terms of what you're pushing out here on this bus, this is going to help you guys also get back to the figures that you used to get.
Yeah, look, the market has hit a bit of a lull, and if I say a bit, it's tongue-in-cheek. The market was dead. It was flat. But look, we've moved on from, you're looking at the region of about 500 to 600 numbers in terms of the total market, and we wish to get back to the days when we were doing 1,000 to 1,200. But these people in the room have kept us, you know, above water. You know, we're proud to say that, you know, on terms of market share, we are surviving at 45% market share, and this is great. And this is thanks to everybody who is in this room.
So where are you guys from a production perspective in terms of when can we see Volksbus Yabantu on the roads and in customers' yards?
We're facing a stock shortage, and it's not exclusively to MAN. We're pushing this in conjunction with Mark and his team. And you're looking from February, March, the first quarter, towards the end of first quarter next year, having units to deliver to the customers.
And the reason we played this so well is because that's why we're launching now in November.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that we give guys enough time to register their units in the upcoming year.
Guys, any final thoughts from your side?
On my side, I'm just happy that we can get our customers up and running again. We're happy that the customers are here to support the brand, but we also want to make sure that we support the customer's brand. And we're happy that we've got colleagues from Brazil, we've got colleagues from Germany, and this will make a huge, huge impact in our business. But in any event, for us, we think that this bus will go a long way in celebrating the diversity of the world that we live in. We're a global world now, but also it will celebrate who we are as a people inside the country.
Yeah, look, and it's good to see faces again, to shake hands, to see people we haven't seen since 2019. And I think we must appreciate it a little bit better now that we know that it can be taken away from us in an instant. So thank you for coming. Thank you for the support, and enjoy the evening. That's all I can say.
For me, as an outsider, I guess, in this, what I find amazing is we started right at the top with Oliver talking about 60 years. And for me, having spent time in Poundtown, Olifantsfontein with the company, you look at this business, MAN, was built on the back of the bus business. And you've been here for 60 years celebrating this month. You guys aren't going anywhere. And the level of commitment that I saw going through the plant at the product that you're bringing out shows that you really have so much faith in this. You know this is going to do well in the market. So it really is awesome that we can go on this little journey with you guys, bring you along for the ride, and take you on a very, very special experience. Like Giacomo said, this is first. This is global. This is, you get to see this first. I hope you've enjoyed the show with us. We're going to wrap things up, have some networking, sell a lot of buses, and have a really good time. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys have been absolutely amazing. Thank you very much.
Go